Alright, welcome to another M12 draft. I have tried to upgrade the quality of the recording here, so hopefully that will work. This is a very deep and interesting pack. I mean, Chandra's Phoenix, the rare, is a pretty decent card. The fact that it has haste and that it comes back with something like Chandra's Outrage is quite amazing. I think the clear pick here is going to be Doomblade. It's quite simply the most powerful card in the pack. Black's a great color. Both Chandra's Phoenix and Chandra's Outrage and Lawkeeper are probably the three next cards that are going to be taken. Like, if we took one of these, like if we took the Outrage, they might be taking, well, they could easily take the Doomblade, and then the Lawkeeper and Phoenix would go fourth or something, and we'd be well set with red. But here, like, the white, we'll notice we're passing the Lawkeeper, the Assault Griffin, the Sentinel. We're passing a lot of white and red, and just a little bit of blue. Like, we're probably going to wheel the Coral Merfolk from this pack. There's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, we might even. Yeah, I mean, I think we're gonna wheel like the Coral Merfolk. It's possible we might even wheel like the Skywonder Drake or the Crocodile. This is a clear best pick. I should note the Acidic Slime too, but I think Slime's a little bit worse than the other cards. Mainly because it's in green. So I wasn't really considering it as one of the top picks. Here to notice, Oblivion Ring is probably the most powerful card, but as I said, we did just pass a Lawkeeper, an Assault Griffin, and the Griffin Sentinel. So there's three decent white cards in that pack, the Lawkeeper obviously being the best of them. We didn't pass much black. Like, if we took the Oblivion Ring here, the next two best cards in this pack are Digger and Thirst, and they might move into black with one of those picks. So, I mean, our pick is probably just going to be to follow up the Doomblade with a Soren's Thirst here, and see what keeps flowing to us. They obviously took a rare, so we don't really know what they're drafting yet. And the person to our right is probably going to be thinking White Supplement when he sees third pick Oblivion Ring, especially after seeing a Lawkeeper. So he either took Lawkeeper or Outrage, and he's in white or in red. Alright, in this next pack, there really aren't that many powerful cards here. Well, I mean, this is like modest for third to fourth pick range. Like, it looks like all of these cards are somewhat playable, though not overpowerful except for these last few. I tend to like Tormented Soul a little bit better than Devouring Swarm. I don't see any reason to like branch out into these other colors yet. Remember again that we passed some red, so Fireslinger is not really something we're looking at yet. The red's deep enough that we could have a base black deck with a little bit of red splash in it. We've also passed a lot of white, so I think right now the pairings that we'd be looking for with our black are probably blue, maybe red. Black-white generally doesn't work very well. I don't really like green-black that much. I tend to favor Tormented Soul over Devouring Swarm, and just the generic black deck. I think we'll go with that first, since this enables Bloodthirst a bit better and follows the better curve. Wow. This is a very interesting pack. I mean, we have two solid black cards still in the pack, in Gravedigger and Onyx Mage. We also have Chandra's Outrage here, which is clearly the best card. And this card's much better. Like, Gravedigger's a strong card. Like, it's better than Onyx Mage. But Outrage is just that much better than Gravedigger. Like, it removes most of the threats in the format and deals damage to your opponent. Like, that's not something that you can take lightly. This is a near first pick quality card, one of the strongest red cards out there. This probably means that red's open, especially unless there's some kind of foil in this pack. Like, there's a rare and an uncommon taken, so that means they've taken a common over this, which means that red's probably going to be open. I think I'd be shooting for red-black here, so I'm going to go ahead and take the Outrage and cut it now. Hope that the people to our right are going white first, and not following it up, not getting red cards. They could easily be in red-black to our right as well, one of those players. Here, I think Arsonist sometimes is slightly better than Dusthunter Bat, just for his capability of creating Bloodthirst, but we already have a Tormented Soul. It looks like we're going to be more of a base black deck if we want to be leading with Soul, even though we have a double red card in Outrage. Outrage is oftentimes more of a little bit of, late game card, kills some of the later drops like Sengir's, Sarah's. We're not normally casting it on turn 4, so I think for that reason, Dusthunter Bat, more of a base black deck, is going to be what we're going to go for here. I don't really see any reason to comment or take the other cards. They're all kind of mediocre there. Yeah, I mean, all these cards, again, are pretty mediocre. Like, Bloodseeker's going to be our best pick, just essentially for the reasons I listed last time. It looks like we're going to be more of a base black deck. This guy's not good in a base black deck, even though he's an okay card. Bloodseeker is a card, once you're putting the pressure on your opponent, it helps with Bloodthirst early, or trading with an early drop like Merfolk or Vanguards, and it helps to finish off an opponent when you have other plinkers like Tormented Soul. It's a fine card for a mid-range pick and for our deck. And this is kind of crazy. Gravedigger and a Shock this late is very, very surprising to me. I mean, that means that nobody's like playing black or red. I tend to think that Shock is a little bit better than Gravedigger. I don't actually have a lot of creatures right now, so maybe Gravedigger is the better consideration. It's also in black. Like, if I open something like a crazy, you know, white or blue bomb, like, I might not want to be in red. That being said, Shock is such good removal. I think, gosh. Yeah, I think it's crazy enough, but I'm going to take the Gravedigger here, just because of the reasons that staying on target in black, just in case I open something in pack 2. When the cards are very similar power level, and I already have Sorin's Thirst, Doomblade, and Outrage, like strong enough removal. The problem is passing a Shock that late really reinforces to the people to my right that they should probably be moving into red. If I'm going to be red-black, I like Devouring Swarm, because this allows active treasons to be picked late. I also don't have, I mean, I have two drops already. I already have a Dusk Hunter Bat. I think he's just going to be the pick. He also protects me against mind control and works okay in Gravedigger type situations. Wow, and I wield the Onyx Mage, so like I think I'm the only black drafter. Yeah, I mean, which makes seeing Gravedigger. Yeah, I mean that makes my Gravedigger pick a little bit better, because I could actually even end up mono black and just ignore this Outrage pick, which would mean I really wish this was the Gravedigger I could have had, but hindsight is always 20/20 there. So yeah, I'm taking the Onyx Mage and hopefully shipping the people to my right, the white deck. Here, for similar reasons to what I've said about the black and the red, Zombie Goliath, just better than Bonebreaker Giant. Felpin Call to the Grave, much better than Bonebreaker Giant. Yeah, so I'm just going with him here. Definitely not taking the Scrambleverse, because, as I've said before, it is trash. We are going to take the Mind Rot here. And it is a fine sideboard card, or a main deck card in certain situations. Here we're just going to take, I guess, the Mesmerist. Black generally doesn't care. Like, if you get enough Doomblades, hopefully I get one more. I don't care about the Giant Fastwood Gorger. I'd rather just remove their early plays. We're not going to have, like, any enchantments, I don't think, in black-red, so I'm just going to take the Erasure. It's possible I should grab the, it's interesting to know we have a Buried Rune. I'm going to hide it, but it could be useful if we get, like, a Crumbling Colossus or something. I mean, it's possible I should have grabbed the Demystified to sideboard in case they had, like, Circle of Flames or something weird. And wow, so I was talking about why Zombie Goliath would be better in pack 1 if I got Call to the Grave, and I just opened Call to the Grave. I was also talking about how Devouring Swarm is good in black-red, combined with Active Treason. And looking at this pack, I'm not sure I'm going to wheel Active Treason, but I might wheel the Deathmark or Act. There are like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's not many playables in this pack, so it's doubtful that I wheel one of those. But Distress is a decent sideboard card. Bloodseeker, Active Treason, Deathmark are all cards that I'd be playing. So hopefully I'd wheel one of those. Ramping out to 5 mana might not be horrible. Manalith might actually be decent in my deck if I do end up playing something like Chandra's Outrage, so I wouldn't be upset milling one of those 4 cards, so that's kind of nice. But we're definitely taking Call to the Grave here. Now we're really wishing this was Gravedigger, actually, because of its synergy with the Call. I think here, like, since we're kind of on the near mono black theme, I think taking the Gravediggers, like, I like Volcanic Dragon. I think he can come out as a surprise. He's a very strong card, but again, with the synergy with Call to the Grave, with my near mono blackness at the moment, taking Gravedigger is just much better. I think Gravedigger might arguably be a better card than Volcanic Dragon anyway in this format, since it's so fast, and this guy allows you to do the early trades to prevent Bloodthirst, and then to overcome them with card advantage and get Bloodthirst of your own. So yeah, Gravedigger is definitely the pick right here. Might wheel like Bonebreaker Giant, or I guess Bring a Disaster could be an okay sideboard card in certain situations, but not ideal for my deck. Don't necessarily think I'm going to wheel much from this pack. And somehow there's an Incinerate there. Maybe there's a rare and a foil rare taken. I don't know. Going with the probably mono black theme, Sorin's Thirst. Like, while Incinerate's the better card, I think Sorin's Thirst is just the pick here. Like, they're similar in power level. Sorin's Thirst obviously can't deal with things like Chasm Drake, Stormblood Berserkers, things that come out with you know, the 3 toughness that are pretty crucial to beating sometimes. But if we're not playing red, I don't think. And right now we might not be playing red, so I think the Thirst is quite clearly the pick, and we'll see what we end up opening in the next pack. I mean, we could still be moving into red depending on what we see. I don't know what these people are. They must be going white something next to us. Like, they probably took the lot. Like, seeing this blue this deep, like, all these blue cards are playable, though, like, these might not be the best. This is kind of crazy. I think Drifting Shade's our pick here. We're near mono black, and a mono black deck Drifting Shade is quite powerful, especially with stuff that you can recur it with the Gravediggers. And there's no reason to like move into blue for like Bell Tower or Adept at this point. Like, they're not great with Call to the Grave. I already have an Outrage. Like, one of these Act of Treason's my wheel for my Swarm. Like, if we're moving into anything, it's probably red in this pack. Huh. And there's a Mind Unbound. That's this card, while sometimes bad, because it's slow for this format, sometimes just wins you the game. Like, if somebody plays this on turn 6 and they have a little bit of defense set up and you can't immediately finish them off, the game could just be over. It's that powerful. That being said, I don't think it really... I mean, it could fit in a deck like mine. Like, we could be moving into blue for that, but I think just the Act of Treason's a little bit stronger, worth taking here, since my deck is aggressive at the same time as being near mono black. I don't, like, I'm going to wheel a Disentomb if I need a Disentomb. Don't see myself playing something like Rusted Sentinel. I think just staying on target with the Act here is fine. None of these cards really excite me. I'm wondering if Naturalize is the right card. Like, I'm going to be hating a card. I don't see myself getting a Bring a Disaster this early. I don't see myself playing the Slaughter Cry with this card level. So we're probably going to just be hating something randomly. This gives the green deck an out to Call to the Grave, though there's also an Acidic Slime, so it's not like they might not even be bringing that in. Maybe just hating the Cancel or the Frost Breath is the strongest call. In fact, I think I'll just take the Cancel here.